has gotten the better of me and juggling a lot of, personal, professional is difficult. And, by all means, I live what I preach. And if I find something difficult, it is what it is. But I'm here to do a video on something that was affecting me for a very long time. And it's something new that I processed and understood. And it's a personal experience I learned and I thought of sharing with you guys. So it's a topic on expectation versus communication. So firstly, think about what is expecting and what is communicating. Once you've understood that, let me try and put some more light into that. So what is expectation? For me, expectation is when you're in a friendship or relationship, there's a level of expectancy that you have of the other person and the other person has of you. And to some extent, it's what normalizes the relationship or friendship, but it can be super unhealthy. When we cross the bridge of too much expectation, but then you would say to yourself, what is the level of expecting? What is the correct level? Or should there be a correct level of expectancy from a person? So I would say is what you have for your own life. What is important for you out of your own life? What do you expect of yourself? So when you have a friend, to some extent, they need to match. I'm not saying they need to do exactly what you do. They don't need to do that. They just need to add to your life. And what we need to understand is that if you have a friend, for example, that's a coffee friend, you need to expect that of them. Unless you have a communication and now you become lunch buddies. So it plays a huge part in what you see of that person in your life. Once it becomes uncomfortable, confusing, then I think personally the level of expectancy has increased or decreased between you or that person. And that's when, communication comes in. So in giving an example of, a level of expectancy, if you look at a friendship, all right, a friend needs to be mutually beneficial. If you're going through something, they're going through something, you guys need to be there for each other, right? If you want to go out, they'll also want to go out with you. When there's an issue is when there's a lack of communication, as what now becomes the expectancy of a friendship or relationship. So then what would you consider as communication? What is an important level of communication? So for me, a good level of communication is transparency, always being honest and truthful. Sometimes it may hurt the other person, but I think they would respect it, and you would respect yourself if you were completely honest about how you felt, what you think, obviously within a filter. You won't be rude. You want to respect their feelings. You want to respect who they are in your life. So it is very important to make sure that you communicate effectively and you communicate mutually beneficially. So in terms of being linked, that's what I had to learn, that expectation is very much linked to a level of communication. So if I had to give a personal experience, is when you have got a new friend or someone in your life, mine being a friend, and you've developed this routine with them and you develop this level of, okay, this is what this is like, all right? You go out every weekend, or you guys set plans together, and it's mutually beneficial, and then something drops. Something is different the one time, it doesn't go exactly how you want it to, and instead of effective communication, you drift apart a little bit, which is hurtful to you and it's hurtful to them. What would have been better is if I picked up the phone, if they picked up the phone and said, what is happening? What can we do to fix this? What's the compromise, sacrifice that we need to do together, not one or the other, together, to make sure that this is something that we want, or this is a friendship that we want to be a part of. So that's effective communication. That's transparent communication. And it's very important. If you value a person in your life and if they are important to you, then the effective communication always needs to be there. I make sure I then express to this person that, but you've always been doing this, and what's the change? And it becomes to an extent a bit hurtful because you've developed this level of expectancy from them, and now they're not living up to it. And I'm not saying that I was right or they were right. It's just how I felt, and I don't want to feel hurt. I don't want to feel let down or something's wrong. And I'm a person that overthinks. And I hate overthinking. I struggle with sleeping, and now I must overthink that I did something wrong when I could have just been effective communication. And sometimes the communication doesn't go the way you want it to, and you have to be okay with that. So what I always do now is I sit back and I think of the two scenarios and how it could go. You expect the best, but hope for the worst. It may not be exactly what you want to hear, but it'll be the right thing for you. And that is effective communication. And it also sucks when you're in a friendship and we don't resolve things and we let it go, and then it just builds up and builds up and builds up to a point where it's hurting everybody, but no one's saying anything, and it's going to burst out. Rather deal with that situation right there, right now and right there, so that later on it doesn't become a bigger problem. Things don't get added onto each other. So my take back from learning this is, and it's something that you learn at your own pace, but if you feel like it's coming up, and then this video is for you. If you feel like you're also dealing with this, or you're gonna deal with this at some point in your life, then 100% take whatever you can from this. And my key factors or my key pointers is to look out for what is an effective level of communication for you, paired with what's the expectancy of this friendship or this relationship in your life. How important is it in your life? Not everybody needs to be a best friend. Not everybody needs to be a coffee buddy or a lunch buddy or a dinner buddy. But where they are, keep them there. And if they do cross between circles, wherever they fit, make sure you have an effective communication, style in place that nobody gets hurt in the movement. You don't get hurt, your friends don't get hurt, the person you've seen doesn't get hurt, whatever it is. At the end of the day, you got to also put yourself first, and it's your life. These friends are a part, and these relationships are a part of your life. And we need to minimize the impact on mental health as much as possible, and be positive about mental health and not let it affect you, not let it bring it down emotionally. It shouldn't be something that's an emotional strain. It should be something that's easy, worked through. So I hope this video has been very helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. Pop any comments below should you want me to do any other topics. I do have another one that I think is going to be very, very important. It's going to be called energy, and I think it's going to be very important, especially at this day and age. And if you also want to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My Instagram handle is @AshikeeUnraveled. If you want to pop me a DM for any short advice or anything, please do so there. And remember, stay smart, stay sexy, stay successful, and stay strong. And remember, during this pandemic, it's very important that we put our mental health first and positivity around mental health. Thank you so much.